CRUSTLEMANIA.
What's going on, Bruce?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hottest Cards of the Week, the weekly series where every Friday night review the hottest, you guessed it, that's right, modern Pokemon cards of the week. We definitely got a banger, like absolute banger this week, just like last week. I'm going to be honest, it's going to be just like last week. I'm going to cover 30 very, very hot cards and then do that Scarlet and Violet popular stuff speed run at the end. In all honesty, it's more the same. It's the usual suspects. The stuff that's been hot this summer continues to be hot this summer. But for my intro this week, I'm all about the culture. I'm all about the viewers. If it wasn't for viewers and the culture, the little things, I wouldn't be here. So I want to talk about for the intro real quick, two of you guys, Lechonkamania and CRUSTLEMANIA. Yeah, that's very similar. No relation, by the way. About 9 months ago, I made a music video featuring two Lechonkamania EDM bangers. Right there. Lechonkamania has been producing banger after banger, and last week Lechonkamania did surprise one CRUSTLEMANIA with another banger. So at the end of this week's hottest cards of the week, I will attach Lechonkamania's new club banger, CRUSTLEMANIA. Alright, let's get to it.
Electric, his smile's a beam, adding sparkle to your Pokemon team. No one's smoother, he's always in stride. Turn on the video, let him be your guide.
Alrighty, here we go. I'm going to start off with some super popular, super hot cards, then I'm going to get right into a few cards, see if I can make you guys a couple extra dollars. Some trade-ins, some bulk, some playable stuff we're going to get into. So, right off the bat, been talking about this card for a month straight. Guess what? It's almost $90. The all-time high continues. It is a big one-year chart. It goes from $16 all the way up to $88 for this stained glass Birds card. Hidden Fates ETB, Magikarp and Wailord GX. This is crazy. So it's not so much that it's $446 because it only went up, it only went up another $50. But it's more this I wanted to show you guys. Literally, I don't know. Oh, there we go. 4 copies in the last 3 or 4 days, 3 days, have sold for literally $600. $5.99, $5.99, $600 even, $5.98.98. 4 Magikarp and Wailords have sold for $600 in the last 3 days. $600. Okay, so and again on the 1 year, this card is from $250 up to $450 with 4 $600 freaking dollar sales, guys. Oh my god. Speaking of Magikarp, hey, I didn't even mean to do that. That was total coincidence, and I'm not kidding. Okay, Magikarp again. Guess what? It cracked back over 200. Now, so on the 1 month, that's up 10%. In my previous video, my last video, some video from this week, I talked about the $3,000 PSA 10 sale. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been meaning to look into that. I've been meaning to look at the seller, the buyer, the number of bids, the auction right before, the auction right after. Point is, how things develop over the next few days, I may end up making an entire video all about the Magikarp sale and stuff. It just depends what happens over the next few days. But Magikarp popping over $200 right now is pretty, I think we can all probably guess, is completely related to the $3,000 PSA 10 sale on eBay. So there you go, it's at $210. Okay, Lovebirds, I don't remember if I told you guys last week that it officially cracked over 2,000, but it went up a little bit more. So at 2021 for the Latios team up, tag team alternate art. And now just to make you guys some money real quick. So Twilight Gatorade, Twilight Masquerade, pardon me, Secret Box A-Spec. Look at this thing. This is from $6 all the way up to almost $20. $18.54 on the 30-day chart. And this came out as a very bulk A-Spec. So here's your bulk A-Spec. Oh, it's worth literally nothing. It's worth $1.09. Nothing. Guess what? It's almost a $20 bill now. Guys, what the heck? Some A-specs just out of nowhere become so valuable for trading in or selling, store credit, whatever. So I'm just saying, a lot of people could have been like, oh no, I pulled my 4th secret box a year ago, and now it's like $80, you know, 60 some dollars. So there you go, trade in your secret box if you don't want it. A Night Stretcher. We all know Night Stretcher is a good trade-in item, but guess what? It just keeps going strong. Night Stretcher's up to $4. That's the 1-year chart. So Night Stretcher came out 50 cents. It had that big original spike up to $2.50, which is where a lot of people learned they could trade this in, get a little store credit, sell it on eBay, and place that's $4. Yada yada. I talk about this stuff all the time. But now it's, you know, $4. So you're 4, 8, 12, 16. You got almost $4.50 for the reverse holo. You can almost sell a play set of 4 of these like reverse holos for $20 on eBay. That's like almost, maybe even. All right, and then, okay, so here's a little hack for you guys, because I just did this today, so I just wanted to tell you guys about this. Obviously, this Marnie's Grimmsnarl isn't up. Just real quick, I know it's hottest cards of the week, but if you can find this Marnie and Morpeko illustration rare promo actually at MSRP for $14.99, well, the promo itself is worth $14.99, and this Marnie and Grimmsnarl that comes with 2 of them, as well as the promo. So literally today, I found this for $14.99. I ripped it open. I got my Marnie and Morpeko IR promo, good to go, ready to grade. And then I took the 2 Marnie and Grimmsnarls, and then I traded them for $2 each, store credit, literally an hour later after I bought the box. So I literally bought the box, ripped it open, traded in the 2 Grimmsnarl EXs for $2 each, so I got $4 off. So I basically got my Marnie and Morpeko promo for like $11. And I got a nice Marnie coin. So yeah, probably do that if you want to do that. But only if you can get this box for $14.99. And then yeah, you just trade in the 2 for $2 each and you get, boom. I'm not kidding, I just did that today. Alright, here's another interesting one. The Pokemon Center, please buy our crap T-Tar. So it just keeps going up. I just want to show you, we talked about this last week. It is now up to $37. I think last week it was only $36, $35. I'm just letting it be known that it hasn't tanked yet. Okay, Team Rocket, Mewtwo EX. We're going to look at a couple Destined Rivals cards right here and now. I literally, yesterday afternoon, watched somebody walk into the card shop, stand right next to me, stare at the 5 Destined Rivals packs left in the booster box they were selling for $7 each. He bought all 5 of them. Last pack, he freaking pulled this card right in front of my freaking face. Thank God I didn't buy a couple packs and then, you know, not get it, or I would have been so jealous. I didn't buy any of the packs, so it didn't hurt near as bad. But I literally watched this guy pull the most perfectly centered Team Rocket's Mewtwo yesterday afternoon. Spent $30, he was in and out in 5 minutes. It was incredible. Walked in, $30 on the table, Team Rocket's Mewtwo, and then he was gone. Yeah, oh god. Up to $391, sorry. Started out at $318. We talked about it going up to $381. Now it's up another $10, up to $391. Speaking of Team Rockets, a Nidoking. This is now comfortably over $100. So it came out at 90, and now it's at 103. So it's up $13 since it came out. For those of you, if you know, you know. You know I pulled that. You know I pulled that in Danny Phantom Super Special Box. Yeah, I pulled Danny Phantom Super Special Box. Yes, I did. Team Rocket's Mewtwo Hyper Rare, another one. So let's look at this. What the hell did I just say about Danny Phantom's box? No one's telling anything to Danny. 55 to 71. It's up, well, what's its lowest? Yeah, it came out, it hit a low of 55. Now it's up a lot. It's up like $16. $71 for this beautiful, beautiful Hyper Rare. Look at Giovanni. Giovanni looks good in gold. Yeah, he does. Alright, Pikachu and Zekrom. Again, if I'm doing the speed run later, like the promos, but I'm just pulling all these cards now as I find them so I don't accidentally miss them later. So, Pikachu and Zekrom Sun and Moon promo. This is a 30-day chart, so as you can see, it had a huge spike off 22 and 13 sales. So it had 35 sales last week. That helped it shoot all the way up from 93 up to 128. In only 1 year, Pikachu and Zekrom is from $23. $23. to $128. Gengar Full Art Phantom Forces just went up again from 361 up to 390. Whoa, that's a big jump. Went from 360 all the way up to 390. Oh my god. That's from 150 up to almost $400 at 389.72 for Gengar EX. Phantom Forces. Mega Rayquaza, I believe this is the third week in a row I've had to show you guys this card, because literally it just keeps stair-stepping up. Look at that, it's not my fault. On the 30 day, it's from 348 up to 381, that is 10%, and yeah, let's look at that 1 year. It is 176 up to, it's up $200, okay, on the 1 year. Yikers. ADP, the alternate art Cosmic Eclipse, just keeps adding to its all-time high. $320 right there. We've talked about this a lot over the last couple months. Speaking of, like, I've talked about this a lot over the last 6 months. Mew EX Legendary Treasures. How many times have I pointed over there and said, hey, that card's right there? Yeah, because it is. Yeah, so anyway, on the 1 month, it's from 103 to 127. So it's at 127. That's its new all-time high. And it's from 48 on the 1 year up to 127. And you can see it hit 88, back down to 75, and now it's shooting up to the moon. Up to the moon. Beautiful, beautiful. Legendary treasures, so good. Alright, Gold Star Greninja, the newest of Gold Stars. Gold Star Greninja is at $9. That is up 30% on the 1 month, but that is not its 1 year high. That is not even its all-time high. Because back in January, it hit a high of 1135, so it's making its way back up to its all-time high of 1135. Zekrom Black and White base set. Okay, so this also adding, I've talked about this a few times over the last month, from 102 up to now 141 with its most recent jump from 112 to 141. Let's see. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay. So on 6, 14, 15, 15, and 16, and we had oh Jesus. Okay, you see that? 280, 290, 290, 290, and then a normal 130. So I had these 290s, these 4 290s right here, really helped shoot it up, and that was following a 300 sale at the very, very end of May. So yeah, I had some very recent, helping it shoot way up there, up an extra $30. Alright, now we're going to look at 2 different Groudons, right there and right there. One from Ancient Origins and one from Primal Clash. This one right here I talked about last week, I believe, but now it's up over $200 to 202. I'm going to show you that from about 90 up to 202 on the 1 year. And then Primal Groudon EX from Primal Clash, facing the other direction, on the 1 year is from 68, and it just hit a high of 153, and it is $5 off its high. Of, well, I guess 160 was its high on June 19th. There you go. Gardevoir and Sylveon, the bonds that will never break, that are truly unbroken. We have, let's see, let me show you the 1 year. 200 up to 465. It is up another $45 on the 1 month. It is almost a $500 card. It is getting real close to being a $500 card, and it's not even a Gengar. Or Latios. Okay, Eevee and Snorlax. So all you people who own random cheap GXs, I'm just going to use this guy as an example to read. Just any of you, if you have GXs and you're curious if they're going up in value, take a look. There's just so many GXs going up that for me it's way easier just to point out the really big moving ones. All GXs, even the regular tag teams, are all going up. So Eevee and Snorlax is from 65 up to 73 on the 1 year. It is a $15 card up to basically a $75 card. But again, any regular art tag teams, any GXs, they're all up at least some percentages. Basic Darkness Energy from Shrouded Fable, it just shot up again. Not a very fun card to talk about, but I've had to bring it up a few times over the last few weeks because it keeps on going up. And it is at an all-time high. It is at almost $43, $42.83. So it came out and got really hot up to 26, and now it's over the whole last 9 months. It's just been creeping up and creeping up and creeping up and creeping up. There you go, Darkness Energy, Mega Lopunny, and a Jigglypuff from Cosmic. Look at this cute, beautiful card. Very underrated. You got the coolness factor mixed with the cuteness factor. You got the very cool mechanic, the very cute combo. Yeah, this one's probably going to end up doing a lot better than people think, and it's starting to. So basically on the 1 year, first of all, it's at an all-time high. It just hit $150. Yeah, with a low on the 1 year of 83, 150 right there again. Mega Lopunny, Jigglypuff, Cosmic Eclipse. All right, so Shaman, this is what do you want to call this? Coolest Shaman card or one of the coolest Rayquaza cards? It's not a Rayquaza card, but when you see this card in person, you're like, this should be a tag team Rayquaza and Shaman GX. That Rayquaza and Shaman tag team? Oh my god, that'd be freaking cool. But it probably looks similar to this already. So this promo right here is very cool, but it is also now $130. And it is from $40 to $100. $130, and that is Shaman EX 77A Black Star promo. Beautiful, beautiful Rayquaza cameo. Way, way underrated card. We got a random full art Gary. Gary, it's always good to see a nice Gary go strong. And this Breakpoint Gary full art right here, which is card number 114. Also has hit an all-time high here. It just went up another $8 on its 1 month. But if you look here, it's $18 all the way up to $46. You have any older mid-modern full arts? Take a look. Tag teams, regular GXs, older full arts. And a lot of these you're going to have, and they're going to be moderately played or whatever. These are the kind of cards you can get a surprising amount for, trading them in. You know, maybe you won't get the near mint price, but I don't know. I found so many of these older full arts that I've been able to trade in and still get a fair amount of money for. So you don't necessarily want to sell them to other people, like if they're roughed up, you know, in rough shape. But there you go. So there's that. And are we done? No. Same with something like this, Lucario EX. You probably don't have a near mint one, but if you have a roughed up one or a light play one, you know, you could probably do something with it now for the first time ever. Because I mean, geez, look at this, $132. And this is from Furious Fist, by the way. Full art 107 Lucario. And yeah, it's just up $30 on the 30-day chart, from 50 up to 130 right there. All right, and I believe we got like 1 card left, 2 cards left. Okay, 2 cards. So Jirachi, I brought this promo up the last couple of weeks. It is a little more expensive. It is about to be $100. So there you go. Yeah, so $38 all the way up to $97.56. And that is Jirachi XY 67A, or it's just 67 Black Star promo. There you go. And then the last one, I just wanted to show you guys something, maybe a sleeper pick or whatever, because I have 2 of these. So this is the Surprise Box Umbreon. It's the best of the 9. Now, all I'm saying is, imagine 6 months ago being like, you know what? I'm going to skip all the craze, all the BS, all the hoopla. I'm not going to overpay for a surprise box. I'm not going to overpay for this. I'm not going to overpay for this. I'm going to do the smartest thing possible. I'm just going to wait 6 months and buy the Chase promo when it's super cheap, like for half the price of a scalp surprise box. Well, guess what? You have the opportunity to do that right now. The surprise box, it's like 70, 80, scalp for 100. The Umbreon came out at $80. Well, guess what? You could just forego all of that crap, all that, and just pay right now, hopefully, maybe if you're lucky, $25. You can get the Umbreon surprise box, stamped prismatic for $25. And the only reason I'm showing you this and talking about it is saying that is one way to beat the system. That is one way to be like, dang, at least I won on that. Because you could have bought it, you know, for $90, not pulled it, pulled a $6 Leafeon, not pulled anything. Or you could have not wasted $90 and just spent $25 for a solid $25 promo. So I'm just throwing that out there. In my opinion, Umbreon for a lower $20, that's a solid, obvious play. This looks like an obvious play to me. Alright, that's all I got. Let's go ahead and get to that speed run. Speedrun time. Scarlet and Violet base set. Gardevoir leading the way, $41. Ralts just barely under 29. Drowsy right at its new low, we can call it, of 25. Let's see. Kirlia, everything else looks pretty stable. Alright, Paldeir. So Magikarp, I already brought up, back over $200. I do love seeing Heracross and Miss Magus at both around $18. But yeah, look at that. Baxcalibur, all the way down to even Tinkatuff. Tinkatuff is actually doing pretty good. Tinkatuff up at 17 is very solid for Tinkatuff. Tinkatuff being over Baxcalibur. That's interesting. But there you go. Tinkatuff looking good. Everything else looking very typical. Moving along. Obsidian Lames. Obsidian Lames, let's take a look. Arven, 330. Still get $3 for your Arven. Hey, that's all Obsidian Flames is good for. Charmander promo and $3 for your Arven. Huh. SV1. Okay, so no neck, still under 200. 192. 60, 50, 40, Alakazam, 30. That's all typical. Everything's typical. I still think the Charizard Full Art and the Pikachu IR are the two best deals right now at 23 and 24 bucks. And this is absolutely Charizard Full Art's all-time low. If Charizard goes to $20, somebody's gonna go crazy and just buy a shit ton of them. I have a feeling that'll be just a buying indicator for some random Charizard simp out there. Alright, the Rift. Let's take a look. Groudon, 73. Still cannot believe Roaring Moon is under 40. Okay. Like, literally, the Garchomp is about to be hanging around Roaring Moon. Like, as a baseline. Okay. Morpeko? You guys want to know what my sleeper IR is? It's freaking Morpeko. I don't know. Something about Morpeko, I got a weird feeling about Morpeko. I don't mean to FOMO anybody into Morpeko, but it's creeping up to 20 bucks. Paradox has so much lower tier value. It just doesn't have the crazy high-end value to get everyone simping and FOMOing over it. But man, down here it looks a lot like Paldea Evolved. Bubble Mew, 296. So Bubble Mew is just under 300. Let's look at these baby shinies. We've been talking about Charizard's free fall for a little while now. But Charmander 20, 20, 18 Ditto. Ralts at 15, Mimikyu at 15. Yeah, down here, Shinx, Mousehold, Entei. Entei's been $8 its entire existence since Paldea's release. The Forces of Temporal, 76, 50, 44. Ghastly, Ghastly is very slowly wiggling. Well, let me take a look at Ghastly here. What is Ghastly doing? Okay, 35, and it's just uptrending to 38. Nothing really. Yeah, Temporal. Yeah, nothing's going on. Twilight Masquerade. Greninja, let's take a look. Greninja's all-time high is like 410 or 420. Let's take a look. 410, yeah. So Greninja at 410 in February. Now, on the 1 month, Greninja is from 296, only down, only down $20 on the 1 month. Ain't too bad. Ain't as bad as like Pikachu and a bunch of Surging Sparks and a bunch of Prismatic. That stuff is really scary. So Greninja's down 20 bucks on the month. Eevee's still holding 50. Whoa. Eevee was holding higher. Let's take a look at Eevee. We gotta look at Eevee. Because Eevee was definitely holding something else. Yeah, Eevee was holding 60, and now Eevee's trying to hold on to 50. So that's your 30 day. That's 13% for Eevee. So that'll be interesting to pay attention to, is where does Eevee go? Secret Box, Secret Box went up another 50 cents since the beginning of the video. Secret Box is 19 bucks now. Alright, so Darkness Energy, $42. That's actually ridiculous. People need to be blinging out them decks. Yes, they do. Wow. Okay, and we got the bowl, the wooden bowl, still at 50. So we were gonna watch Houndoom to see if Houndoom cracked under 30. That's what we were talking about last week. Looks like Houndoom is still holding at 32. And then Persian did crack under 40. And Persian is... Let's take a look at Persian real quick. So yeah. Persian definitely cracked under 40. There you go. Could be a good time to... I don't know. Persian could go all the way down to 30. Would anyone be shocked if Persian continues and like falls all the way down to 30? If you really want Persian, I don't think there's any harm in just waiting. I don't think there's any reason to FOMO into anything related to Shrouded Fumble. Stellar, pretty frown, yeah. Stellar Crown, pretty frown. Squirtle, okay. Terapagos, okay. Man, somebody do something for this set, please. Somebody give me something to talk about when I bring this set up, please. Please. Hydrapple, 24 bucks, get it out of here. Alright. Splurging. Just, God, this set. Look at this. What is it? Melodic is about to be under $100. Latias, 160. Okay. 290 for Chubby Cheeks Pika. This set is getting murdered. Yeah. The Cerulege IR is $17. Holy yikes. That was 35, 40 bucks at set release. Alright, Prismatic. So Prismatic, we got Umbreon in English on TCG Player, potentially cracking under $1,000. That will be very interesting to watch. It's already selling for under $1,000 on other platforms, such as eBay. Hey, guys, want to know my worst purchase ever? My worst raw Pokemon card investment? You're staring at it. Right here, Cerulege. Let me just admit this. On release, the day before release, I bought Cerulege for $200. And it was $190, and it went up to $240, and I was feeling pretty smart. Not gonna lie. I bought a Cerulege the day before release for $200. Yeah, I'm down $90. $90. I'm down almost, like, a lot. I'm down a lot on my Cerulege. What the heck? So, you know, that sucks. Fortunately, I've been a lot more lucky on a lot of other cards to make up for it, but, Prismatic and Surging, the flip sides of the coin. These are the two most hyped sets that came out right at the peak of the bubble, start of the bubble. Now people are getting destroyed on these cards and sealed products. Journey Together. Lily's Clefairy is down to 133. Lowest it has ever been by far. Wailord down to 14. That's crazy. Okay, so we got the stamped box topper down from 24 after that pump last week, down to under 20. The regular one's holding above it. The stamped box topper got pumped higher than the regular one, but here we are a week later, and the regular one is doing slightly better. Very interesting. Should I show you guys? Yeah, in case you didn't watch last week, yeah, there was some stuff that went down last week. Both of these Reshrams went from 12 bucks to 24 bucks. So there you go. Something I very much talked about last week. Alright, Destined Rivals. So Team Rocket's Mewtwo, we already said. It's up another 10 bucks from last week. Nidoking is up about $16 or $13, $16 since release. It's doing very good. Team Rocket's Mewtwo EX. There go. We already looked at this. One more time. Again, that was 55 up to 71. Beautiful gold. Something about Giovanni in gold where it just fits him so well. Absolutely. Those pre-release, the regular pre-release build and battles, we'll take a look at those on the next page because they're going down a little. So right here we have Team Rocket's Mimikyu is down. It was like $27 last week. It's down to $17.50. T-Tar's down to 12 bucks. Typhlosion was all the way up to like 23 bucks. It's down to 16. And then Misty's Gyarados is down to 10. So the cheapest of the four pre-release are still double digits, with the cheapest being Misty's Gyarados. Very interesting. And again, that is not typical for sets to have four very strong, very well-performing build and battle promos. That just does not happen. Period. Crown Zenith, 155 for Tina. Will Giratina crack under 150? That was the big question. Mewtwo definitely holding over 100. Arceus holding over 90. Leafeon at 45. Glaceon at 38. Okay. Darkrai at 32 is solid. Hisuian Zoroark is back down to 23. That's sad. I feel like Hisuian Zoroark needs to be up with Darkrai in that $30 range. It's too good. Way too good. Come on. Tina, as long as that Giratina stays above 150, I think a lot of stuff in Crown Zenith is going to stay pretty much right where it's at. Trainer Galleries. Starmie V, 80 bucks. Okay. Nope. Not seeing it. Everything looks kind of flat. A lot of consistency. Last year we had a lot of highs and a lot of lows. This year we've had very highs, very lows with the illustration rares, but some of this other stuff, it's actually been pretty stable once it kind of, as things have cooled down. A lot of these prices have really flattened out, especially these trainer galleries. So Alt Arts, Moonbreon under 15, okay. That looks pretty flat. I do want to look at Giratina at 510. That just sounds low, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Low at 510, Giratina. So hit a high of let's just call it 710. It's $200 off its high. And this is the lowest it's been literally all year for Giratina. Its 1 year low is 325. So it's still way up on the 1 year. This could really trap some people because it does look like a good buying opportunity, but you never know. Alt Arts could just fall out of favor for who knows why. You know, like, Pokemon market is fairly unpredictable. Just when you think you have it figured out, everything changes. So once again, we are back to only 6 V Alt Arts over $200. But the Dragonite V, I gotta keep bringing it up. For this year, I feel like Dragonite V has done better than just about anybody. Because it didn't just hold over 200 for the first time. It's way over in holding. Like a 253 Dragonite. Same with Lugia, doing great. Pokemon Center promos. We got Squirtle at 160. Let's see, we got Pikachu all the way down under 80. Charmander at 90. A T-Tar, like I said, is at 37. I actually did exactly what I told you guys you should do 2 videos ago. I was talking about a lot of these market prices look really good since they're down on a lot of these. But I really think you should only buy these if you really think they got a shot at a 10. And I was saying something to the effect of, like, if you find a Teal Mask Ogerpon or a Pecharunt and it absolutely looks really well centered, it looks like a shot at a 10, you don't spend 14 or 16, you're crazy. And yeah, so I literally bought a Pecharunt this afternoon for like $16 and it looked perfect. And it was an easy decision for a Pokemon Center stamped ETB for 16 bucks. It looks like a 10. That is easy. So I definitely scooped one of those up today. Regular promos. Everything looks pretty typical. Again, I still think this Dinner Plate EX for 20 bucks is pretty solid. This is Marnie's Morpeko. This is what I was talking about. If you can get the actual deck battle box for $14.99, sell the 2 Grimmsnarls, you're getting your Marnie Morpeko for like 10 bucks. If you trade in the 2 Grimmsnarls. That's what I did earlier today. I got my second one. I got 2 of them. Sword and Shield promos. Greninja, like I said, is up $1. Zardy Boys, right where they always are. VMAX Evolutions, right where they always are. Alright, last but not least, we have the Sun and Moon and X and Y. I put them both together because they're just all doing so well. Stained Glass Birds cards, 90 bucks right there. We talked about Pikachu and Zekrom. Charizard and Braixen, 115. This looks like an all-time high. Check this out real quick. So Charizard and Braixen, this is 38 bucks. That's a 90-day chart. Let's look at the 1 year. Alright, so $20 up to 115 for Charizard and Braixen right there. Very nice. Everything else looks pretty. Let's go ahead and go to page 2 real quick. Oh yeah, got a lot of these promos doing real good. But as far as on the 1 week, it looks pretty straight across. So Dragonite GX Sun and Moon promo, this looks like it's up. This was $70 last week, so Dragonite GX is up. Anything else? I'm not really seeing. Yep. No, I think we're done. Yeah, we're done. Yes, we're done. Alright, if you made it to the end of the video, let me know. Let's go music, okay? Since we're about to play this LeChonkamania banger here in a sec. Whatever was the most impactful, most nostalgic, whatever artist or music meant the most to you, like had the biggest impact on you as a kid, let me know. Put that in the comments below, please. I hope y'all have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you guys next week. Deuces.
CRUSTLEMANIA. 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 CRUSTLEMANIA.